Did I kick him
What
for
kind
you?
of intro was that?
Hey, I'm a jerk in the box.
Good evening, my darling batlings. Glad to see you here, Girdle, and glad to hear that you are doing better than the last time we spoke. Also, about getting your rib popped back into place. That is certainly a thing. I hope I never have to experience that. I have a low tolerance for pain. I could never be a masochist.
Well, remind me never to hand over the lament configuration to you.
So, yes, we are continuing Sonic 06 tonight. Last time we had finished Sonic's story, so now it's time to begin Shadow Story.
Yes.
Thus the title of tonight's stream. Last Thursday, you popped a rib off place. Thought you mentioned that. I didn't see that in the chat. So you might have mentioned it, and I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I honestly, if you mentioned it, Girdle, I didn't see it either, but I've been busy these past couple of weeks myself, so I haven't had time to really look at anything. And I'm usually the one always looking through the chats everywhere.
So anyway, let's God, but I kind of hate how the Xbox 360 dashboard looks after the update they did that got rid of the original Blades design, but it's still more legible than the menu design they've had since the Xbox One.
Oh,
Like, everything's clearly divided into categories instead of it being a jumble of messed up shit. There we go. I was distracted by titties.
I'm always
From
from
that game was something I downloaded back when the Xbox Indies program was a thing. Got it for $1, and it's a visual novel you can finish in like 5 minutes. I forgot to stop the music. I do not want the Hi-Fi Rush play. As good as the Hi-Fi Rush soundtrack is, I don't want it playing all night. Also, the Sonic 06 theme, his world, is one of those rare but still often enough that you can count how many times it happens. Cases where I'd say the Crush 40 version is the worst version.
Yeah. I think Zebrahead is like unanimous.
Yeah, Zebrahead's the one who did the version that made it into the game.
Transmission from HQ. There's an SOS coming from Dr. Eggman's base. Our last communication with our agent was 26 hours ago. We expect an immediate rescue. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Understood. Initiating the mission now.
God, this cutscene lives rent-free in my head just because of how good of an intro it is. All the Sonic 06 intro cutscenes are good. But this one in particular sticks with me because it's a good way to introduce Shadow, since this is sort of meant to be, like, when it was designed, it was meant to be a jumping on point for new players. That's why it doesn't reference past events in other Sonic games very much, despite being an anniversary title. So that cutscene's a good introduction to Shadow without having to get into his lore.
Funny thing is, Sonic's intro cutscene is actually is the one that lives rent-free in my head.
Well, yeah, that one does too, for obvious reasons. It's the first thing you see. It's the first thing we saw of this game, aside from, like, the teaser, like, Sonic running into the forest test demo that we saw when the game was announced. But, like, our first view of what the finished product would look like was that opening cutscene.
Yeah. Also,
Tango Gameworks shut down. Yeah, I hate that news, and I'm very pissed about it.
Ari, I hate to do this to you, but I think you're sitting on me. I don't think
Fine,
you want me underneath you.
Let me scoot you over then.
Thank you.
I would move myself, but that would fuck up the, oh, I forgot to launch the tits. I can't forget to launch the tits.
Quick question. Do you mind if I go human form?
Not at all.
Alright, give me one moment.
No!
Let me launch the tits so you guys can assault
There
me
we
with
go.
thrown objects. Hey!
There we go.
Hey.
Basically, this is the face that my friend did. I just took the small bit of it. And, yeah.
Let's see if the tits work tonight.
Oh.
Tits does work. But the outline needs to be moved. Or I need to be moved.
I'll move over then. No.
Where are the others?
yeah,
There we go. I moved me
you
into the... This is why tits takes a little bit longer to set up. You have to move yourself within the outline.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah, this is the face that I got commissioned for the D&D thing.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
You already know, I'm a big fan of the androgynous look.
Yeah. And I've also... I mentioned this to JKR earlier, but no one else was here for that. I have updated the head pat redeem for live 2D model screens, so it now plays a sound to alert me to when I'm being head patted, so I don't miss it.
Oh,
I've also tested out the bonk, and the bonk works.
So I'll do a head pat right now.
Oni-chan, I need more head pats, Oni-chan. I'll let you hold my hand and we can do other little things, but I need my head pats, Oni-chan.
There we go.
Okay, good. I do hear it over the screen. I just don't hear it over the call.
Same.
Yeah, it doesn't play over the call, but it plays on screen. It's that Dakooter's video of her saying that she needs more head pats while she's choking her Oni-chan.
Which honestly, you know, if it's playing over the screen, that's what really counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to use another program called Mix It Up to get that head pat redeem to work properly with VTuber Studio. And unfortunately, I can't find a way to output its sound through my voice meter output.
That's funny. The Shadow the Hedgehog opening for this game, I've only probably seen it like maybe once before this, and I tend to forget it exists.
We got out of the base, but security's really
Hey, it's
high.
Tits the Bat.
This is my favorite voice of hers.
This voice has grown on me, just not the performance in this game. Like, her performance in Sonic X sounds a lot better for Rouge than it does in Sonic 06.
I think she got better direction in Sonic X.
Yeah.
Well, she obviously did. Everyone in Sonic X sounds better than they do in Sonic 06.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like Rouge, I feel got hit the hardest by it because, like, if you listen to her in Sonic X, she sounds like appropriately, you know, young woman, whereas in this game, she sounds like a lot older than she should be.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard people compare her performance to like someone in their 50s.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, Rouge has a tendency
40s.
to get stuck on walls in this game.
Dr. Eggman is no match. Shadow, why you?
It's a request from the president. It looks like that armed buggy still runs.
I get in the armored buggy and proceed to drive it terribly because this thing handles like one whole butt.
The searchlight pillars are solid. You need to
So, fun fact. And people now know that I would overthrow a small nation for them if they ever were in trouble.
Just a small nation? What about a micronation?
That too. I mean, it's smaller. It's smaller than a small nation. But I drew the line at like medium size or large. I made a joke saying like, yeah, if you get caught by Russia, you're kind of on your own. I made the girls laugh. One was 20, the other one's 24, the other one's like 23. I was making them laugh with that.
The driving controls in this game always throw me off because this was the generation that like made it a standard that when you're driving a car, use the trigger for gas. But this game doesn't do that. It's like crazy taxi controls where use the A button for the gas and use the X button for the brake and for reverse.
The searchlight pillars are solid. You need to use missiles.
Like, at least if it was A and B, it would be more intuitive.
Yeah.
But hey, at least they placed your weapons for all your vehicles on the right trigger.
Yeah. By the way, did you hear?
Have I heard that the word is the word?
No. The searchlight pillars are solid. You need to use missiles.
Yes, I did heard that.
When you think about it, this stage would be really fun for like Sonic All-Stars Racing or something like that.
Yes. I could see like any of these stages being put in, especially Racing Transformed. Because I just think Racing Transformed is like one of the best kart racers ever made.
Oh yeah, also, I don't like the team one.
No one likes Team Sonic Racing. No one does. There's a reason that it has no online community.
Yeah, it's the reason why I...
part of it's because no one likes Team Sonic Racing compared to the other Sonic Racing games. The other reason is because the online matchmaking was broken at launch. And when your game is primarily focused around online multiplayer, if the matchmaking is broken at launch, people are not going to stick around to see it get fixed.
Yeah.
Like, there's an Apple Arcade spin-off of Team Sonic Racing called, I think, just Sonic Racing. And that one has more of a... has been better received than Team Sonic Racing was.
Ah.
Even though it's on Apple Arcade, which of course means no one's played it.
Yeah.
It's also gotten more consistent post-launch support than Team Sonic Racing has. Team Sonic Racing got nothing after launch. Like, it got a patch to fix the online matchmaking, but that was it. Because there was no one playing it. That also leads to, you know the YouTube reviewer Ant Dude?
Yeah.
That he did one of his worst videos, in my opinion, is his Team Sonic Racing video, because you can tell he was obviously paid to promote it and was afraid of saying anything negative at all about this terrible game. So he just acts like it's perfectly fine and in some ways better than the games that came before it. And you can tell that he was talking out of his ass because in later videos he talks about how it was shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you just lied to your audience so you didn't anger your sponsor. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, your fans make your channel.
Like it's not even a sponsored review. He just got invited to like press events for it and got an early review going. And that's part of why if my reviews ever get to the point where I start getting early access codes, I'm going to be very picky about which ones I accept, because we've seen in recent years that as influencers have started getting access codes early in exchange for leaving reviews, a lot of companies will have specific review guidelines about how much positive and negative they're allowed to say.
Yeah,
like they have to submit their reviews to the companies in some cases in order to get them approved. And if they're too negative, then they have to rewrite the review to make it sound like their gripes with the game are not as massive as they actually are.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like for me personally, if like they wanted to give me, the thing is, my whole premise is I'm going to be brutally honest.
Like Some Call Me Johnny did a really good review of the Resident Evil 2 remake, but he's talked about after it how he had to re-edit it because Capcom said his review focused too much on the negative qualities, even though he was already praising the game.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, like my whole thing is like, this is my policy for reviews.
Like there's some aspects that I can understand. Like Square Enix doesn't want people posting spoilers in their reviews.
That's understandable. Like you already know me when it comes to spoilers. Like I'm like when it comes to spoilers, you already know me. I don't do spoilers unless the game is like 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's reasonable, at least.
Don't you want to
like if I'm reviewing a new game and I feel like I have to get into spoiler territory, I'll post a timestamp for where the spoilers end. And if it's something where the spoilers are inherent to just talking about the game, then I'll just straight up say, if you don't want this game spoiled at all, then just stop watching the video here.
It seems
I'm just not going to give it. I learned how to hype a game up without giving any spoilers, which you've heard me do.
Yeah. But something like, say, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I feel like I couldn't review without getting into at least mild spoilers.
I think I could probably do an easygoing review without giving anything away. Then again, I'm experienced with this kind of franchise, so...
The doctor's guard dog. Still, I need to get through here.
Also, like, one of my gripes with this game that doesn't have to do with, glitches or performance, there's a real lack of boss variety in this game. Like, both Sonic and Shadow fight the Egg Cerberus. Both Sonic and Silver fight the Egg Genesis. Sonic and Shadow both fight Silver. Silver fights both Sonic and Shadow. So he's the only one that gets unique boss fights for those. Like, the only difference between Silver's fight with Sonic and Silver's fight with Shadow is the setting. And they all have, like, some of their own unique bosses. But then again, like, both Sonic and Shadow have to fight the Iblis Worm.
Yeah.
So, Shadow gets unique Mephiles boss fights. Sonic gets to fight the Egg Dragoon at the end. But other than that, he doesn't get, like, really any other interesting unique boss fights. Silver gets unique Iblis Worms to fight.
The front's too dangerous, Shadow.
That owner's gone. Now it's my turn.
Oh yeah, I got some news. Death Battle might still be a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've already confirmed that they're working on more episodes. They're just taking their time on them.
Yeah. And that's some. Wait. What? Is that supposed to happen?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it glitched for a moment. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's part of his attack pattern. He goes up there and then he jumps down. Shockwave comes out, and then you can jump on his back and grab his horn.
Yeah,
also, how is this a Cerberus if it doesn't have 3 heads?
I know, right? That's what I was going to say. It's like, as a connoisseur of Greek mythology, Cerberus has 3 fucking heads. Where are the other 2?
If anything, this should be called the Egg Hound.
Yes.
So, one thing about a conversation I had with Proto last night, where I gave him inspiration for a chatbot idea.
Yeah.
Remember how I told you how I wanted to make my own?
Yeah.
He started editing and making his own, being a card buckle. It started off kind of as a.
Oh yeah,
like a
he sent me the line art for his card buckle.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
I saw it too, actually.
Yeah, it started off as a Fenrir, then I was like, oh. I'm like, he showed me a Fenrir from Final Fantasy 14. I'm like, no, that is not a Fenrir, that's a card buckle. Then he showed me what card buckle looked like, and we both agreed that card buckle from Final Fantasy 8 and Final Fantasy 15 were the 2 peak designs for it. And then we started talking about a Cerberus Fenrir version of card buckle, and that's kind of how it came to be.
Nice.
Perfect.
But yeah, once I learn how to do text-to-speech bot, I'm going to be helping with that.
I've been wanting to do a text-to-speech bot for a while. I just need to get money to pay Shiba to draw my the text-to-speach bot's going to be Olive. I know that much.
Aww.
And she loves drawing Olive. I just need, I need to compensate her financially.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's like more good news.
Yeah.
I got that bagel I wanted, but from Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh.
So it's just like okay.
Something's brewing at D&D.
So
I need to show you like a video that one of my roleplay partners sent me, where it's the entire Dunkachino skit, but all of the dialogue is sentence mix from Chocolate Rain.
Oh no.
Why does Eggman's base lead to an odd place like this?
How should I know? I just followed my orders and retrieved the item. Anyway, I have a little favor to ask of you. Could you escort me to the GUN rendezvous point?
It bugs me how they call gun GUN in this game and no other game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I
ancient
agree.
castle of
You all know it's gun.
Kingdom Valley.
Let me scoot you guys back over near me since I fixed my positioning. There we go.
Hole.
I use my limited psychokinesis to scoot you near me.
Go to Kingdom Valley. Go to the forest gate immediately.
Buy me dinner first.
What, you don't want to get the good scooch?
That sounds dirty.
That's why I said it that way.
Here, it sounds dirty. Me, do you think?
I mean, right, dude. I'm in human form now, so
I don't know. I've seen slimes do some freaky deaky shit.
I mean, I have too. But remember, I'm not a slime. I'm a shapeshifter.
Yeah, but you have a slime form. Is my point.
Yeah, it's the low mana form.
I've seen enough high school DxD to know what slimes can do.
Tomato potato.
Actually,
You
no.
say tomato, I zater mater morts.
I need to be high for this shit.
No, you need to be high for when I eventually stream episode 4 of Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People, because the entire game is an in-universe, zero-budget buddy cop action movie with Sonor card gauge in it.
Let me know when, because, yeah.
I'll let you know when I have next week's schedule planned out. Because I plan them a week at a time.
Okay. Just know, Saturdays might be up in the air because I might be doing the D&D thing with Proto.
Okay.
Just so this way you're not just left high and dry, you know?
Yeah.
Just full respect on all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, next weekend I'm gonna be out of town and I won't have my main laptop with me, so I'll be able to watch and everything, but unless you want to, deal with me being so quiet over the mobile device, I probably won't be able to call.
Right. So that tells me to just not stream next Saturday, which gives me an extra day off.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because you're trying to work on YouTube stuff as well.
Yeah.
That also reminds me, I need to work on something.
That's no good.
What, we working on something that's not good?
Just bad timing. Or perfect timing, depending on your point of view.
It's something nice.
Bad, like The Room?
No, it's something nice that I wanted to work on. It is not for me.
All these chaos abilities that I'm going to be buying for completion's sake are stuff that I guarantee you I will never use in actual gameplay, because there's only like one instance in the whole game where you're required to use, well, two instances technically, and they're both the Mephiles fights, where you're required to use the chaos abilities, and even then you only have to use one of them.
Wait.
Yeah, you start this fight out on the hang glider for no goddamn reason. You don't even have to dodge anything. You can just keep spamming the right trigger, and you're guaranteed to win.
Oh my god.
Interesting update to the Buzz Bombers. I never.
Yeah, they were trying to go with part of this game's overall more realistic aesthetic. They redesigned the Badniks to look less cartoony.
Yeah, which I mean,
and more like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Which unintentionally makes them look more like stuff that Eggman from the movies would make.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're not bad designed. It's just,
Yeah, honestly, they evoke more the idea of the swap bots than anything else. Like basically just quote unquote stormtrooper bots.
Yeah.
Just for like constantly like mass produced robots that Eggman can use as just throwaway foot soldiers at a moment's notice.
Help, step bro, I'm stuck.
What do you mean you're stuck?
I can't get off the wall.
What are you, a spider?
One of this game's many glitches.
Yes, and it applies to both Knuckles and Rouge.
Oh, lovely.
But since you play as Rouge more than you play as Knuckles, more people associate it with Rouge.
Rouge, the wall is not a gem. Get off the wall, please.
Rouge, listen to Michael Jackson and start living off the wall.
Oh,
I don't know how I got it. What?
What?
There's just not that. There's no. This part of the geometry is not solid. Okay.
Oh. That makes sense.
I discover something new every time I play this. The camera's convinced it's solid.
For the people at Sonic Team, back in when this game was made. Come on, hey now.
You broke it.
I don't think it's fair to say, oops, you broke it, when the game barely functions as intended to begin with. That would imply that
fair.
something was fixed. Or that something wasn't broken.
Yeah.
Even the dialogue is broken in some points. There's a part in Shadow's story where they leave in an outtake of a gun trooper giving you an order, and he stumbles over his line, and then he recites the line correctly, and they play both takes back to back.
Oh God.
You mean a GUN trooper?
No, I
that
fucking
robot
don't.
right there looks like something out of Gundam.
Yes, it does. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the inspiration.
God damn it, Rouge! Get
She's
off
stuck
the
on a
wall!
wall. The walls are full of honey, and she's wanting to be Winnie the Pooh.
She wants to get banned in China?
Yes. She'd do anything for a little bit of honey.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother. The walls are full of honey, and I'm stuck. By the way, have you seen, speaking of Winnie the Pooh, speaking of Winnie the Pooh, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the new Goobus?
Goobus? No, I haven't.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm staying quiet.
I didn't know we made a new Winnie the Pooh animation.
Yeah, it's based off Fallout New Vegas.
Okay. I'm not familiar with Fallout New Vegas because I would say I don't play bad games like Fallout, but Fallout New Vegas is supposed to be one of the good ones.
Story-wise, it's probably better than Fallout 3.
I mean, everything-wise, it's supposed to be better than Fallout 3.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is probably like the second best Fallout in terms of like, you know, action-based Fallout.
I mean, depending on whether you're factoring in the original two Fallouts plus Fallout Tactics.
That's why I said the action-based, not so much the clicking ones.
Like, it's not hard to be the best modern Fallout when most of the modern Fallouts suck.
Yeah.
It's like when like I treat that accolade the same way that I treat Wonder Woman being called the best DC Cinematic Universe movie, because it's like you don't have much good material to compare it to. So yeah, that's not much of a commendation for it to be the best.
And by the way, to answer your question, all of the Fallouts are very glitchy. It's a Bethesda game.
Well, they weren't always Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Like before they were made, before Bethesda bought the IP, they weren't all that glitchy.
Yeah, Vegas is glitchy, but nowhere near as glitchy as Fallout 3.
Yeah,
Fallout
because
3
it wasn't made by Bethesda.
Yeah.
It was published by Bethesda, but it wasn't developed by them. That's why it turned out good.
Yeah. Speaking of Fallout New Vegas, I still need to play it.
I think I got it for free on Epic.
I got the Fallout thing, or the bundle, where I got not the bundle. I think I got it for cheaper. It was on sale. I got Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4.
I know I got Fallout 3 for free, and I know that I got an old bundle on GOG that had Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics on
Yeah,
it.
I don't have those. I think a YouTuber I watched has those, and the pinball game.
There's one Fallout game that nobody ever talks about, other than to mention how much of a dark period Fallout was in the period between 2 and 3, and that's Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
Ah, that one. Yeah.
Hello. There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
That?
Enter Shadow the Hedgehog.
But
no, seriously, what kind of death is that?
I was supposed to die from falling into the water, but the death bound zone for what counts as falling into the water was below the level geometry.
No, I mean the vocal.
Oh, the vocal sound. Like I said, the voice direction in this game is mostly shit.
It sounded like sexual almost.
Yes. That's part of why people say that Rouge in this game specifically sounds like a 50-year-old hooker.
Could we at least say 40?
I mean, even, you know, this actress at her worst is better than the current version we have.
Yeah.
She's finally adjusted her performance to not sound like she's constantly on seduce mode, and it still sounds bad. Because now she's going for like a falsetto tinge to it, and it just makes it ear-grating.
Oh, wow.
Also, it doesn't help that I just don't like her voice actress as a person. Without getting too political, she doesn't believe that the election was legitimate.
Oh, it's one of those, man.
Oh,
yeah. Who do we hate? Rouge's current voice actress, who I am forgetting the name of because she's so like just bland in terms of most of her performances. But yeah, she's like into a lot of that right-wing conspiracy stuff.
Here you go. Here you
go. Here you go. Here you go.
What I was more disappointed to hear was that Quentin Flynn's into that stuff too.
Am I the only one getting Droideka vibes from that particular bad deck?
No, I can see it since it rolls into a ball. Although this one's decidedly more insect-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of baggage with Quentin Flynn, but he's still an inherently likable person just because, like, he doesn't make his politics his personality. Karen Strassman, that's who I'm thinking of, yes. She's also, no, I was thinking of, I was about to say she's also the current voice of Bert from Neptunia, but no, that's Carrie Karanen, who is just a bad Bert.
Stuck on the wall again.
Yes, it's this wall in particular that I get stuck on. Help me, step bro.
It's that building in general. Remember, you got stuck on the other side also.
Also, how fitting is it that Karen Strassman turns out to be a Karen?
Ooh. Note to self, don't name your daughter Karen.
How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones?
You may be entitled to financial compensation.
Oh my god.
I do like that more recent Sonic Media has been playing up the crush that Rouge is supposed to have had on Knuckles for like over 20 years now, considering that ever since then, up until recently, they barely interacted with each other outside of comics.
Yeah.
Like, the reason that I shipped her with Shadow for so long, even though nowadays I see it as more like, if they hook up, then it's a casual thing and not for a romantic relationship. Is because she, like, for most of her existence, she spent more screen time interacting with Shadow than she has with the character she's canonically in love with.
Yeah. And those robots remind me out of something out of, not those.
Shadow stares at her chest in this game, too. I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just, poor animation.
Yes. But, those bots that have those giant arms, they feel like they would be right at home in Power Rangers or Kamen Rider.
It looks like it's a
not Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider doesn't really have mecha in it. Kamen Rider, like, it doesn't have, like, you know, the kaiju stuff in it, so there's no need for mecha.
Yeah.
It's more so, like, street-level fights.
Which I think fits the idea of Kamen Rider anyway. Because
it also helps distinguish it from Super Sentai.
Which is true, yeah.
And another thing that distinguishes it from Super Sentai, having watched a bit of Kamen Rider now, is that like you see a lot less action of Kamen Rider in the suit in each series versus Super Sentai, where all the fight scenes are always in the suits. Or almost all the fight scenes are always in the suits. Like, in Kamen Rider, they save the suited battles for the climax of the episode.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, speaking of Kamen Rider, there's this kid. I don't know. I forget this medical. I don't know what the medical term the kid has. But they were a Kamen Rider fan, and Nate shared the video. I had to retweet that video. It was really awesome.
I found out, you know that Saban did their own short-lived adaptation of Kamen Rider, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Knight.
No, that was a different company. I'm talking about in the 90s. It was just called Masked Rider.
I remember Masked Rider as well. I didn't watch it, but I do remember it existing.
It failed so spectacularly that it hasn't been officially released on any home media ever, outside of like a couple of VHS tapes, or maybe just one VHS tape that had some episodes on it. Because it was such a bad adaptation that Toei was just like, no, we're never letting you distribute this again. Like, even when Hasbro bought up Saban Capital Group, they didn't get Masked Rider as part of that bundle, so they can't distribute it.
Okay, let's get going.
But, like...
My headphones are off for a moment. I need to fix my headset.
Oh boy, time for the wonky hovercraft section. Where, depending on how you land, it can kill you in one hit.
So he came in on a hang glider, and now we have a hover bike.
Not a hover bike, a hovercraft. There's a difference. Although we do get a motorcycle in a couple stages.
This looks like the hovercraft looks like a hover bike. Because the hovercraft has giant fans on the bottom. Oh, it's a giant fan right there in the front. Okay, now I see it.
Yeah. And if it... The first thing you do when you get on this hovercraft is you go off of a ramp. If you don't land off of that ramp the right way, you just instantly die.
Oh.
Because if vehicles flip over, they instantly explode, and you're on top of water, so that means you're just dead if you don't land the way the game wants you to. Which, given this game has poor implementation of the Havoc physics engine, that's entirely possible.
So, I have a very good thought process, a very good question, that if I was developing, I would ask. If... This is making me angry. If we came here on a flying thing, why not use the flying thing to go through?
Use your aggressive feelings, Kia. The hate is
were you just taken away by the fact that we leave on an eagle just to go to another section of the stage?
Which we could have just flown there to begin with.
Choose for an extraction point.
You were already extracted by the eagle.
Yeah, but we're supposed to get to a specific point in Kingdom Valley to extract out of here and get the Scepter of Darkness away from Dr. Eggman. Yes, it literally is just a pizza delivery mission, except with a potentially world-ending artifact. So it's either the best pizza ever or the worst pizza ever.
Well, it depends on your point of view.
It's what was that pizza from Space Ghost? It's a pizza with sun-bloated orange ruffy. And boy, is Gun gonna be pissed when we find out, when they find out that Shadow accidentally delivered it to two Bangladeshi guys who thought that they were talking to Dave. Hi, Dave! Hi, Dave! I'm making a lot of references that are just flying over my target demos heads, and my answer to that is go watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah,
it's a masterpiece.
Like you can literally watch.
You can watch any episode right with no. You can watch any episode with no context and still get the show.
Mm-hmm. It's also really fun to watch high.
Yeah, as we discovered.
It's just funnier when you're high.
Yeah, but the specific episode is the episode, I think it's called Hungry. Where, like, the entire episode, Space Ghost is hungry and wants to get a pizza. And also Zorak's nephew, Raymond, is visiting the set.
Let's get moving!
Look, why is he so constipated when he says that?
Do I have to say it? Poor voice direction for everyone in this game. Except for Mike
I know,
Pollock, he sounds better than usual in this game.
I'm every time it's a bad voice, I'm gonna ask questions.
And that exact voice clip is used in a lot of Shadows levels.
So, like, did he eat too much rice?
No. He ate too many coffee beans.
Ooh.
Because you know what too much coffee does to your bowels.
The funny thing is, it doesn't affect me that way.
I mean, like, biologically, for most people, it gives them diarrhea.
Yeah, like the runs. That's what I mean. Like, he sounds
okay. So in this case, he ate too much. He ate too much pizza. The cheese.
That would be the runs, though.
Yes, but that's because you're lactose intolerant. For people who aren't, eating too much cheese makes you constipated.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm not. I'm not. Well, you know why.
I can tell you from experience, and from a Weird Al lyric from his song "A Complicated Song," which is a parody of Avril Lavigne's "Complicated." Which it's a 3-act story. The first act, he gets constipated from eating too much pizza. In the second act, he finds out that he and his girlfriend are related, and in the third act, he gets decapitated.
What the
Oh yeah, the Starbucks made olive oil coffee. God, I'm glad that didn't last very long.
Oh, so Starbucks has a new thing called the spicy or fresher thing.
Yeah,
I tried it. It's not. Well, for me, I grew up with people who grew up eating spicy foods. You know.
Yes.
There was an article a little while ago talking about people's stomachs are hurting, and I tried it. And I'm like, bruh, you guys are weak.
But to answer JKR's question, yes, I still got an S rank because in this game, your score does not reset to 0 when you die. So it's super easy to get S ranks in this game. Oh boy, time to meet the best character in this story.
The former king of Soliana used to reside in this castle, but a major accident occurred.
Okay, is he a king or is he a duke? Because canonically he's referred to as the Duke of Soliana, but like a duke doesn't rule over an entire nation.
I think the name of the plan
Right.
was...
Yeah, a providence.
Project.
All right, let's see those baby blues, Dr. Eggman.
Named after their eternal.
The funny thing is, I actually like this Eggman design.
So do I. I just wish that it was animated better, just like everyone else. Because these models have the potential to look good if they're animated properly.
You took from me.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, Memphis, Tennessee. This is where we meet Memphis, Tennessee, who is part lizard. The alpha gamer himself.
Are we going to Tilted Towers?
I mean, we are in a tower.
Or is it tilted?
Potentially. I mean, it's just rising out of the water, so it could be tilted due to erosion.
Ain't a robot. He doesn't tell the robot, catch it.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah, good job, JKR.
Thank you. I'm definitely gonna clip that once this gets passed a little further.
Purple's broken.
Oh no, he released the bad purple haze.
Pull back! Pull back! Pull back!
I like how Eggman gets scared. Like, oh,
he knows
chaos.
better than to fuck with Mephiles.
Yeah, he fucked with chaos and learned his lesson.
Yes. Like, he's okay with trying to harness the power of Iblis to power his time machine. He knows better than to fuck with Mephiles.
Yeah, right. Mephiles is actually the intelligence.
Yes, he's the intelligence and cunning of Solaris, while Iblis is the power.
Yeah,
Now I'm wondering about something. Having both Memphis, Tennessee, and Chaos at full power, right?
Yeah.
Would that be a fight you would love to see? Obviously, in a safety dimension, right?
Yes. Also, why, like, goddamn, does Mephiles' theme just sound so good?
And how do you know my name?
It does. So eerie, and it's like, it gives you mysterious, eerie, danger, just caution.
Also, I'll say that Mephiles is the one character model that benefits from not having a very good rigging, because he's supposed to look uncanny.
Did you forget?
Yeah. I am you. Have you heard of kidding?
I art thou, thou art I.
That was actually a line I had to record for Progo.
Return to you. A one-way ticket to oblivion.
A one-way
You're sending us to the Elder Scrolls 4? Also, I love how there's no warp effect for them getting teleported. They just blink out of existence.
Yep.
Yeah, believe it or not, Oblivion is still considered like one of the better story-wise.
It's also considered one of the better dialogue-wise for completely different reasons.
Oh, dude! If anything, I think it's the Somerset Isles. That's like the madness place. Oh, it is a fun area.
Well, let's find out where we are.
I've watched. I think it's Miniature Nerd. Do a full playthrough. And it is very, very enjoyable.
They go to find out where they are, and they find out that they haven't actually been sent to the future. They're just in modern-day Detroit.
I was about to say that. Don't
I'm
fuck out my head.
Location. It's.
Oh shit! I can't clip the scene because I apparently waited too long. Whoops.
No.
Well, when the VOD goes up, you can.
Yeah, I'll just do it when the VOD comes out.
But how can that
Dude,
be?
if Detroit, it's gonna be if Detroit and Camden, New Jersey did the fusion dance.
It appears we've gone through time, doesn't it?
Yes, approximately 200 years.
I will be right back. I left my frappuccino in the other room.
Updated.
Son of a bitch, now I want a frappuccino. All I've got is this
At
cold
least we know
coffee.
we've arrived in the
Not iced coffee, just coffee that's gotten cold.
That means this
I got the new one, was like a cookie, chocolate chip cookie type one.
Oh god, that sounds so good. If only I hadn't lost my Starbucks gift card.
I was gonna.
It still had like $20 on it.
This is gonna give you an idea what it tastes like. Pleasant. Doesn't taste too much like. It doesn't taste too much like a chocolate. It's more of a mocha, which is nice still.
Yeah. Well, mocha is chocolate.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a darker chocolate.
I think I'm mocha, but not exactly dark chocolate.
Like, Starbucks uses a dark chocolate for their mocha drinks.
My current avatar is mocha.
Oh, look who's here. I didn't expect to see you guys.
You're the titular character from Rosario Vampire?
Hi, long time no see.
Maybe. I mean, I can't shape-shift into them. Alright, be right back.
No, I'm not saying I want you to do this, but theoretically, could you shapeshift into Kurumu the succubus?
Far removed from
Yes.
our own timeline.
Duly noted.
With adjustable bust and butt size.
Make a mental note of that for later.
Got some nerve
Oh no.
No.
How can we get back to our own time?
You need a space-time rift, but this requires a lot of energy. I see. You mean using your chaos control will... Yes, but that alone is insufficient. Okay, Shadow. It looks like we need to work together.
One.
I love how Shadow just has an innate understanding of how inducing a rift in the space-time continuum works, even though he's never done it before.
Yeah.
Also, another thing too is if he had understanding, he could have saved Maria.
Yes, but they try not to reference past Sonic events in this game because it was meant to be like a soft reboot, not direct like this is the first time everything's happened kind of reboot, but like being a jumping on point for newcomers that doesn't directly reference past events.
Yeah.
So but it failed so spectacularly that they unrebooted it.
Basically, it's kind of like how Pokemon tried to do a soft reboot of Pokemon being black and white, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this shit? Why is Ash a dumb fuck? Why is he making mistakes? Because he's a veteran. It doesn't work this way." It would have worked if he was helping someone new. You could have done a soft reboot that way. But no, you made the main character who came in the top 16 in his first go-around of the Pokemon League. Like, it doesn't work.
I mean, at the very least, we can celebrate saying he's gone.
Yep. But not forgotten.
Unfortunately. I will stand by it that Ash was a shit main character for most of his tenure.
So basically, the character that ended up winning in the X and Y series was a more interesting character.
Yes.
Lon, I think his name was. He was already an experienced trainer. He was actually helping someone start with their journey start, which would have been really interesting. It would have been really good for his character growth. Like, I should have won that Pokemon League with the guy that had the two legendaries.
Yeah.
The one with the Darkrai.
And Latios.
I forgot it was a Latios.
Yeah, that was the next Pokemon he had, meaning if he had Darkrai, Latios, he probably had Cresselia and Latios also sitting there.
And then the Latios tries to make advances on Ash.
Oh god, don't remind me.
That's still one of the weirder things about that movie.
I like that movie, and I will admit it's weird that Latias actually, one, was able to shapeshift into a human, and two, it's the girl that knows her, and then two, the third thing is that apparently Latias has a thing for Ash. What the fuck?
I mean, it is canon that humans and Pokemon used to marry.
What do you mean, marry? You mean eat at the same table? Let me stop.
No, we do not. We do not stand for revisionist history here.
I'm joking. That's why I said it so obnoxiously.
We treat that the same way that we treat North Korea rewriting their own history to say that Kim Il-sung was the one who saved them from Japan.
They're going to say Kim Jong-il move the literal sun, stars, and moon to give Korea the perfect alignment.
Let's get moving.
Shadow, take some Pepto-Bismol.
I'm sorry, the camera's fucking me up here. Seriously, Crisis City's theme is so good that it's one of the rare instances where I say that the Sonic Generations remix of it is worse. By the time this entire playthrough is over, I want someone to go through all the VODs and count and do a running counter for every loading screen. So we can have a grand total of how many loading screens you can run into in an average non-completionist Sonic 06 playthrough.
So I'm back? Why do we have an airship again?
I don't know.
It would make more sense to be like commandeering into this phase out of it.
You're trying to apply logic to a game that has none.
You're trying to apply logic to a game that can't even get its rules on time travel straight.
So my whole thing is this: it would make more sense to take control of one of those fire flying things.
Yes, that would make for a more visually interesting stage gimmick. But given how rushed and chaotic the development was, they wouldn't have had time to implement a unique stage gimmick for this stage.
Yeah.
So just reuse the assets and resources that you already have made. It's more efficient. Also, detail that a lot of people miss that's in this stage. It's not on this sign, but it's on some of the collapse signs that you stand on. I'll point it out when we see it. By the way, through the new Cat Icarus video, I learned that there's actually a third adventure-era Sonic-adjacent game that has its own Chow Garden in it that nobody ever talks about because you wouldn't think it would have a Chow Garden in it.
No!
Yes, Shadow.
Sega Superstars for the PS2 iToy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has a Chow Garden in it, and you can directly interact with your Chow using the iToy camera. And no, I'm not going to stream it because that would dox myself. It would ruin the VTuber immersion. I can't get away with that. Unless I were to find some way to emulate the iToy setup in a PS2 emulator using the built-in virtual webcam function of my VTubing software somehow. Even that's a big if. Oh, guess I'll just die.
What was that cartoon from like the 50s or the 40s that had the mouth movement cartoon with a still image?
Oh, Clutch Cargo.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
There's actually a couple shows that had that were all from the same studio. Another one's called Space Angel. Which is basically Clutch Cargo in space.
Synchrobox. That's what I was looking for there.
Yeah, the technology was called Synchrobox, and it was meant to revolutionize TV animation by saving time and money on the expensive and time-consuming process of lip syncing.
So I kind of want to do like a joke character for when I'm doing like really old stuff. And basically have it be a Synchrobox.
They actually made a reference to Synchrovox in a bonus feature on the Incredibles DVD. Where it's Mr. Incredible and Prozone in character riffing on an old licensed Mr. Incredible cartoon that's done in the style of Clutch Cargo. Here we go.
I think I remember.
Here's the thing I wanted to show you guys. The sign we're standing on says Chow Garden. Next exit.
I really wish they would do a Chow Garden, like even a mobile game.
The weird thing is Izuka is aware of the very high demand for a new Chow Garden anything, and he just doesn't want to do anything with it.
I mean, the foundation's already there. It's gonna print fucking money. Grow up.
Make it a mobile game. You can rake in more on that than you would by making a fucking Apple Arcade exclusive Sonic platformer.
Exactly. Keep in mind, I hate mobile games. I would play this. And I'm a casual Chow Garden fan. Foundation's already there. I mean, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. It's there. I'm not going to get an Apple game, an Apple phone, just to play it. That's too much.
You don't need an iPhone to play Apple Arcade games. You just need any Apple device.
I don't have any Apple device. All too expensive.
Yep.
That's like my whole argument. Like the only thing I will get as Apple that I will be able to afford would be a phone. And I don't want an Apple phone.
Well, if you get one of those Apple TV set-top device, like streaming boxes, you can use that to play Apple Arcade games. And that's cheaper than an iPhone. But then again, that would require buying an Apple TV streaming box just to play Apple Arcade games, when there's only like one or two in the entire library that you would want to play.
Like nothing I want to play really on that.
It has its own exclusive Pac-Man game.
I'd rather just play Pac-Man on a TV games console.
It has its own exclusive Castlevania game.
Meh. There's only like 3 Castlevania games I like. And what I want to play.
It is done in the style of Symphony of the Night, but with microtransactions.
My precious chaos
and a gear system.
I'd rather just make my own.
I say gear system as if Symphony of the Night didn't have equipable armor, but this is more like, oh, you get gear through like daily chance drops and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it's like gacha to get gear and characters.
I'd rather just make my own and give you a review code.
Think of it like this. It's a gacha game that you have to pay a subscription in order to play.
What could have possibly happened to create
fuck
this
that.
future?
And then have the gacha aspects on top of that.
Yes, this is
fuck that.
Understood. We'll be there in a minute.
Like, the only reason I'm willing to give stuff like Genshin Impact a pass is because they're free.
Go. It's not like we can do anything for him now.
It's not like we can do anything for him now.
Yeah, just leave Omega there. It's not like he's your friend or anything.
Yeah, it's not like he's a integral part of Team Dark.
And then he'll come back later and he'll say that Donkey Kong repaired him.
Slow.
A Chaos Emerald!
The weed! You had the weed the entire time!
I may not look it, but
I think this is the scene where Knuckles stares at Rouge's chest.
A certain echidna I know.
It's like the only time they're on screen together. Yeah, he just did it.
Have you guys discovered anything?
I don't blame him. Not a furry, but I don't blame him.
I would do the same.
You mean
I technically had on 2 different occasions.
And he doing it again.
Don't be late.
I've had big chested girlfriends before.
Same to you.
So have I.
I stared at their chests and they just laughed. One of them, I said, my eyes are up here, and I actually said, I made my choice. And you know what I said after that?
What?
Are you hungry? We can go grab something to eat.
You know what? My experience, from my experience, works well for the "my eyes are up here" thing.
What?
Saying yes, I know, and then complimenting their eyes and mentioning which color they are, so they know that you actually do pay attention to their eyes.
Oh yeah, the funny thing, the thing is, like, the girl I was dating, she was actually hungry, so I actually said, like, yo, like, let's grab some to eat.
Like, I said that to one of my partners that I always keep anonymous because I don't like to name and shame people.
Yeah, understandable.
Name and shame people from my personal life that have done me wrong. But I said that to one of my partners, and it reduced them to a stuttering mess. Like, it was something like, yes, I know that your eyes are up there, and they're very beautiful. They're a lovely shade of brown, and I could just stare into them all day if I had the time. You know, just lay it on as thick as possible.
Oh god, dude, you are evil.
Yes, I am.
Wow, that's a butt plug and a half. This thing goes right up, pierces your whole body in half.
Now we just need to wait for Bad Dragon to make a toy based on the Iblis worm enemies.
I would buy it. Okay. Unironically,
Bad Dragon is actually sponsoring people on YouTube now.
I wonder if I can get a sponsor.
I found that out because there's a channel I recently started watching who reviews products that commonly sponsor YouTubers to see if they're worth the money and if they live up to the advertising hype. And they saw that I think it was Papa Meat who did a video sponsored by Bad Dragon. It was someone like that did a video sponsored by Bad Dragon. And the dude was like, thanks, now I have to review this. Hey, Shadow Dragon. Popped in at the perfect time.
Shadow Dragon, we're talking about Bad Dragon.
I mean, the best review I've ever seen of a Bad Dragon product that cannot be topped by any professional reviewer was one that Nyanners did back before she became a VTuber, and I'm pretty sure that she scrubbed this video from her YouTube channel.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, back when Nyanners used to just do like really weird shitpost videos. It was her in a maid outfit and a unicorn mask reviewing a Bad Dragon toy.
Yeah.
And, well, doing an unboxing and review of it, and acting all shy and nervous during it to make it even more awkward.
Wait, there's toast? Is there butter and jam in the Shadow?
Well, you know what they say. All toasters. Oh, and I gotta say this is Shadow. This is your one freebie for the night. You know what they say. All toasters toast toast.
Shadow, what are you talking about?
I don't know, I'm hungry. I didn't get to finish my dinner before stream.
But Shadow, why did you? I try to do my best, my best.
You're trying to do your best, level of Shadow.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my best knuckles right now, but it's like, I'm losing it right now. I bit myself from the cheek, so it really hurt.
It's erupting. Let's go.
Okay, think about if Shadow had kept his gameplay style from this, where it's more combat focused, to differentiate him from Sonic. Eventually, we would have gotten to the point where he just straight up does the Fist of the North Star rapid punches. No, that's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Fist of the North Star is...
Yeah. I'm also helping someone else. I'm doing like multiple shit. There we go. That's the sight I was looking for.
Did any of you all know that there was a time back in the 90s where there was a Sonic and Knuckles contest What do you mean Sonic and Knuckles contest Alcatraz? I'm afraid.
So am I, actually.
Did you know that Metallica performed at Alcatraz for a music video off their Saint Anger album?
Oh, you showed me that one.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of stuff that were like, yeah, we're not responsible if we get hurt.
Yeah, because the guards are just straight up like, if the inmates attack you, we're not going to intervene. Although I feel like that was scripted for the music video. Because, you know, the guards are going to help save celebrity guests. Because they're rich and famous. They're not just going to let them get torn apart by the inmates.
Yeah.
Plus, extensions of the U.S. police force, they're more than willing to look for an excuse to beat up inmates.
Police, yes, but the, whatchamacallit, parole officers, no.
Yeah, but we're not talking about parole officers. We're talking about guards at a maximum security prison.
I'm sorry, I'm stuck with the music right now. This world.
There was a contest of that in Alcatraz back then, and it was on MTV. I think I know what you're talking about. It's not like, you know, a contest to go to Alcatraz. It was like an MTV event that was hosted in Alcatraz that was sponsored by Sonic and Knuckles. Because it was the 90s. They did all sorts of weird shit.
I miss some of the tricks they did in the 90s.
Did you know that there's a piece of MTV Lost Media, which is the pilot for a show that never made it past the pilot filming stage because of how disastrous the pilot filming was?
Oh.
It was for a, you know the Gong Show?
No.
The Gong Show is like a classic. It's sort of like a talent show where it's people with weird talents or unique talents that come on and perform their talents. And there's not like a prize to it. It's just like the prize is getting to be on TV in the first place. And like they would ring the gong if they thought your talent sucked. It was like really edgy for its time. Like one of the most famous Gong Show talents that was on there was like two like college girls in skimpy outfits seductively eating popsicles.
Oh my goodness, you're bringing back a memory from when I was 10.
And this was in the 70s, so it's amazing that they got away with that. But like it was a show sort of like that called Dude, This Sucks. And it was a similar premise where it was like people with weird talents or shows or like skits that they had planned out that would go on the show, and the audience would rate it, and if they hated it, then they would say, dude, this sucks, and kick them off stage. Everything was going all well and good until a particular act came on called the Shower Rangers. They asked for some audience participation and pulled up like, it was filmed at like a spring break thing, and they got like a couple of like 12, 13-year-old girls to come up on stage and just like stand in one part of the stage. And then like two guys in camping gear come out. So the name's already kind of shitty. Because the name makes you think, oh, Power Rangers, but no, it's like actual like Forest Rangers. So it's not even a good pun. But they like they play out an act of like, you know, setting up a campfire. And then they drop their trousers, face ass first to the girls, and unload projectile diarrhea onto them because they had eaten laxatives before coming on stage. And that was their act.
Perfect.
The girls sued MTV for obvious reasons, and MTV has since buried the recording of that pilot, making sure that it will never be broadcast.
I don't blame them. Like, that... You could have just went on stage and projectile shit it just for that. And you... Oh my god. But why did it have to be underage girl?
Because it was... I don't want to justify it. I'm not touching that. I'm not going to attempt to rationalize it, because you can't.
You could tell my head hurts right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my head hurts so much right now.
Oh boy, time for the best boss in the game, the one that takes the longest time.
Jeez.
My head. Oh.
Oh, why don't you change heads, dude?
I'll take care.
Have you tried not having a head?
I can't decapitate myself. I mean, I can, but that will be like a sexual reproduction. I don't think you want that on your live stream.
I mean, I can decapitate myself, but only once.
I mean,
also that's against terms of service. I don't want you getting banned.
I mean, here's the thing here. You know, guys, here's the thing. I didn't think I would decapitate myself.
Watch out, Shadow. If something
And
that
look
big
how
runs into you,
well I turned out.
So that's reason enough not to do that.
Yes.
Hey, I guess you could always say I'm just ahead of the game.
No, you're behind.
You could all. I have to ask the question: do you give good head?
I'm not that kind of head.
Well, hold on. Those are the kind of heads that give head.
Get up. I'm not getting into this with you.
You know what? I got time. Answer the question.
You brought up head puns in a stream with me. You knew this was coming.
Yes, with you on his stand. Here, on the other hand.
Coming.
Here, on the other hand.
Nah, he's made it clear. No one's coming.
At least not on stream.
I'll say, fuck.
No, wait, we are coming on stream.
Yes.
Come on, do your attack pattern so we can get this over with.
Bad Dragon needs to partner with Sonic.
Make officially licensed Iblis toys.
Yes. Also Chaos toys.
Also Shadow the Hedgehog's hedgehog fucking quilly dick.
I know where they can get a partial model for that already.
And one with squirting action for Dr. Eggman for his super laser piss.
And it needs to be the size of 2 bongs and a bong.
2 balls and a bong, yes.
You know, I find it interesting how small Iblis actually is.
Only in this form. In the other forms, he's a lot bigger.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Wait, you guys know how big? Oh, Inky.
I mean, proportionally, when you're the size of a skyscraper.
Do you think you could take him?
No. He would wreck me.
Wreck you as in wreck your shit? Or,
Literally, yes.
I think I could take him.
Well, yeah, you're a shapeshifter.
Go ahead and try. Go ahead. Try your luck.
Oh my god, it's coming on stream!
I can't even see why I'm attacking. Oh, I died. Time to do it all over again.
To get his attention to lead him to
Yes, it was coming on stream, and Shadow couldn't take him.
You know what? You know what? I need to have I need to have either a sound alert or a redeem or both for instances like this where I have to start something over again from the beginning because I died.
What?
One of my favorite CS188 YouTube group quotes. If I had to do it all over again and had to take bids all over again, I'd still do it all over again. I'd do it over again. I'd do it 15 times over again. If I had 15 houses and all of them had foundation problems, I'd still do it all over again.
Watch out, Shadow. If something that big runs into you, the soft footholds won't hold.
Also, I've been thinking about adding some clips from AKA cartoons in as sound alerts or redeems. Like, 2 in particular are I think you might be right. And another is another one is they put him in a trance.
I can't see with booby in my eyes.
I can't see with booby in my eyes.
That that needs to be one.
Yeah.
I'll say fuck.
Anytime that we're playing Senran Kagura, or anytime that Tifa is on screen, I can't see with booby in my eyes.
Yeah.
Or if we're playing a Team Ninja game, because they've always got busky girls in there.
Mm-hmm.
It is a creator's thumbprint of Tomonobu Itagaki. Even though he's not with Team Ninja anymore.
Yeah, like what was it? The chick with the scythe.
Rachel.
Thank you. I was thinking Dead or Alive being Helena. Or Helen, whatever her name was.
I mean, Rachel did show up in Dead or Alive starting with 5.
Yeah. I thought it was 4.
Nope. Rachel's first appearance in Devil May Cry was 5. I mean, not Devil May Cry, Dead or Alive.
Don't worry. I know what you meant.
Lava, dude. Floor is lava.
Literally.
Did you know there's an actual game called The Floor is Lava?
Yes.
Yes.
And there's a sequel to it also.
I don't even want to know.
I mean, I think
Did you know that Did you know that there's a game called You Have to Burn the Rope?
No.
And the only objective is to burn the rope so you can defeat the boss.
What if you don't want to burn the rope?
Then the game goes on forever.
What you're saying is, this is the game that never ends.
And burning the rope isn't as simple as just burning the rope. No, you have to use the right source of fire to burn the rope.
I like how you just throw pop rocks at you.
I was going to say why pop rocks, but then I realized they are rocks that pop when they hit the ground.
Yes. Oh yeah, speaking of going back to the Starbucks spicy drink, right?
Yeah.
It also tastes like eating spicy pop rock.
You're not as tough as you look.
That sounds like a disgusting combination.
The taste is meh.
Because pop rocks are supposed to be either sweet or sour, not spicy.
Yeah, like it's really hard to describe, right? Oh, you dodged a bullet there.
I mean, fitting for Keanu Reeves. Corona had the best reaction to the Keanu Reeves announcement when someone told her about it in chat. Which was just, wow, Keanu Reeves.
Shadow, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Ooh, kinky.
He's dazed. Now, Shadow, now.
He's dazed from that post-nut clarity.
That is so hard. He had to do a backflip.
So, just judging, I don't know, like, how big was the Gabriel from first form? Because I know the worm is
Big enough to tower over a ruined skyscraper.
And the third form,
And also the first form is big enough to pick up skyscrapers to use as weapons.
I thought so.
And the third form, we find it in the middle of Volcanic Crater. So there's not really a good surrounding area to compare it to, but dwarfs Silver in size.
Okay.
Probably the size of about 2 or 3 chaos, perfect chaos if I had to
Probably.
guess.
Yeah.
Still would be a good fight to see. Both of them in their prime and shit.
Like,
Obviously,
big enough to throw what's effectively a meteor-sized fireball at you.
Chaos
control!
Depending on what you define as meteor size, because meteors don't have defined sizes.
I was thinking like something the size of Texas.
Like, the fireball he throws at you is like the size of Cooler's supernova form. Supernova move. You know, the, that planet-busting move that Frieza uses, but Cooler always makes his bigger.
Yeah. This guy is like, look at this fire. I'm about to get high as fuck.
Now we see what he was actually looking at.
So, look at this fire. It's burning ultra weed. It'll make your crystal weed
Shadow.
look like a bitch.
Shadow.
Legalize crystal weed.
Oh yeah, remember that girl I like? I found out that she also likes the gummies.
Nice.
And then our coworker was like, she has one. She'd be out like, oh.
I like CBD
Well,
gummies. I
I'll
take them
provide
as
a full
part
report
of my
shortly.
regular medicine.
Right now,
I got the RSO, which is like
I need to
probably
contact
3 times
E123
stronger than
Omega
that.
immediately.
Well, yeah, because North Carolina doesn't have legal weed. Well, it's about to, but only on a Cherokee reservation.
Ah. So, do we need to find out from Cherokee so I can take you over there? Let me stop.
Now, this stage here is one that can either end in a couple minutes or can go on for a long time, depending on if you know where the end of the level is.
Here you go.
Bombs.
Blood oil. Bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend. As long as you have enough rubies.
Sorry, Link. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little, richer. It's still wild to me that nobody's been able to find out exactly who voiced Morshu. And I found out the reason why we can't find out who voiced Morshu.
What's the reason?
At first, I thought it was like a Resident Evil 1 situation where the voice actors were only credited by their first names. But no, we have a list of who played the actors. It's just that his name is so common that we don't know which person with that name did it. And everyone that they've tracked down who has done voice acting work that they've asked, did you play Morshu? They have said, no, I did not voice Morshu. So, and the only guy that they couldn't get a definitive answer from was because he died before they could ask him. So it's genuinely a mystery we may never know the answer to. And we can't ask the guy who directed the Zelda CDI games because he's dead too.
Well, shit.
I think that's actually the fastest I've completed that stage. Oh boy, get ready to hear Matty Blouse. What should be a good Matty Blaustein performance ruined by the fact that they forgot to put Omega's vocal filter on all of his lines.
Oops.
This is a charming little place.
Also kind of ruined by the fact that they
Time no see.
animated Omega objectively wrong in this game.
Rouge the Bat.
Like, typically Omega has a vocoder with, like, 3 different pitches playing at once.
Situation understood. What would you like me
Here
to
they just
do?
put a resonator over his voice,
Take this
so it sounds
and deliver
wrong.
it to Shadow.
Weird. I've never tried it before. Let me try it. Let me see. Inserting the weed. Holy fuck.
Activation countdown initiated. Backup
Oh my! I
resource.
think. Fuck! I got the what's it called? Fix it. You do the thing.
Command program priority changed. New mission, Shadow support. External access no longer permitted.
Like, the reason I say that Omega's animated wrong here is because they animate him like an old school robot that has very slow, clunky, deliberate moves. If you look at how Omega moves in the games prior to this, he's constantly, like, spinning and shit. He is not a slow-moving character.
You know, I've also noticed the difference between Omega from Sonic Adventure and this version of Omega.
He wasn't in Sonic Adventure. That was Gamma.
Decided to void your return
I got the two confused. My mistake.
He was in Sonic Heroes.
It's easy to get them mixed up. Don't worry.
Because I was thinking like Gamma has, Gamma's got the similar build to Omega, but the difference is that he's got digigrade legs than rather than what Omega's got.
Omega's a lot bulkier and has a kind of more humanoid design.
Yeah.
After the world was devastated by Iblis's flames.
I can't get over how Omega was in IDW. Install a jaw mechanism so I can bite their ankles off.
Who did this, you may ask?
One of my favorite Omega lines from any of the comics, I think this was during the Archie run. I don't know. I haven't really read much of later Archie or any of IDW. But it was, like, Cream saying thank you, Mr. Omega, to him, and he, like, pats her head and says, "You are too cute to eviscerate."
With me, Shadow. Let us punish this foolish world of humanity. It's only fair to give back what was intended for you.
Also, I love how,
justice.
Like,
that's absurd.
It's only noticeable in certain cutscenes like this one. But when Mephiles talks, his whole like muzzle moves as if he did have a mouth.
I determine my
like I'm planning ideas for monster form for my avatar. And one of the details I want to have is like the lack of a defined mouth, like Mephiles. If I can figure out how to animate that.
I have an idea of how to get that going.
Such foolishness. Very well.
Not 100%, obviously.
You can entertain me.
You know, I would love, and again, this is entirely your call, dude. But I would love it if you were able to get that reboot that fan dub that you wanted to do years ago. But
yeah,
again,
I've been thinking about doing more like traditional fan dub. The main thing is like I'll do it if I can get someone to assist me with editing, because editing part 1 of that on my own was a fucking nightmare.
I can understand, which I remember was the reason you gave for why you didn't continue it, because editing was a nightmare. And the fact that it was hard to get people to actually find.
Yeah, it was hard to, since I did an open casting call instead of working with people that I have experience working with. It was a pain in the ass to get people to give me their lines. Nowadays, I would only cast people that I've worked with in the past and that I know are reliable.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have to hop out. My mouth is really starting to hurt now.
All right, get better.
Yeah, have a good. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Night.
Enjoy your frappuccino.
It's already done. It was only like a shot left.
Ah, it's a shame.
When I went to make a donut, I got a double or some shit. Dance, Water, dance. Hey, Shadow Dragon.
Or how Eggman just arrives at Sonic's house and he's like, "You were expecting Sally Acorn or any of your other girlfriends?"
Like listening to the old Nephilis the Dark voice I gave for you to work with years ago. Honestly, I look back and I'm like, it had potential. But I think I could do a much better voice now than
you've expanded your range since then. You could definitely do it better now.
Yeah.
That's also why, like, for casting, I wouldn't put it up to a public vote for who gets cast as who. Because, like, democracy's not a good thing in casting.
No, it's not.
I have discovered that since then.
Like, I don't suggest who I think is best for the roles if I hear it too, but that's only a suggestion. You always get the final say. It's your project, dude. I just give you my opinion.
Like, I already have an Amy on standby for future Sonic films.
Nice.
Mission complete.
And I know that this time I would just voice Shadow myself, because I have significantly improved my Shadow voices since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, there's two voices Mephiles is one that I want to do. The other is Omega, just for the fact that I like voicing robots. I don't think I could do I don't think I could actually do as good of an Eggman voice, Mike Pollock style Eggman than.
Well, I was actually going for a Dean Bristow voice for that one.
Oh, nice.
That's why I lowered the pitch a bit and put in a little bit of that theatrical flair. Like, it's the difference between sounding like this and going for more of this kind of performance.
Oh, yeah.
Mephiles!
Like, if I'm not just straight up doing an impression of a specific Eggman voice, then my quote-unquote Eggman voice that I default to for, like, fan projects is sort of an amalgam of different Eggman voices. Like a little bit of Long John Baldry's theatricality, a bit of Mike Pollock's roughness, and a bit of Dean Bristow's menace.
Nice. Like, mine is more so
Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings Robotnik, but also with the more theatrical flair that Jim Carrey. Well, not really Jim Carrey, but more like what Mike Pollock puts out. I just happen to have the overall look of Jim Carrey because of the costume.
Like, it's hard to nail down a good Mike Pollock impression, so I just go more for the Mike Pollock vibes. And I say it's hard to nail down a good Mike Pollock impression because he delivers radically different Eggman performances that also affect the timbre of the voice, depending on what the script calls for.
Right.
Like, you've heard it plenty here in Sonic 06. He sounds a lot more formal and reserved.
Yeah. But then eventually he just slips into his, default Eggman cackle and everything, though. All that.
Even then, in this game, he sounds a lot more... He sounds less cartoony and more sinister with his cackle.
That is true. I will give you that.
It seems like Eggman's machine
like
for you.
His typical Eggman cackle, which he really nailed from Unleashed onward, it was more of an
oh yeah.
Whereas in here, it's more of a
I'm gonna ask directly.
like he's actually a mad scientist.
Hey,
he's actually
wait a
like
sec.
he goes full on mad scientist with that laugh.
Yeah.
Whereas most other iterations, they're just like he's just laughing because he thinks it's actually fun of what he's doing.
Well,
yeah.
It seems his little trip hasn't changed him. This is Rouge, GUNHQ.
Rouge is going to be a hard one to cast.
Pull all available data on an item called.
I know if I were to do another try at a Sonic 06 fan dub, Rouge is going to be hard to cast.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know why this and this is entirely your decision, but I'm giving a suggestion here. But it also depends. Does Timo have any voice acting talent or like range?
I do not know, but I could ask her.
But honestly, I don't know why. My mind is thinking like she could actually pull off a good Rouge voice.
I would also, one of the things I know, one of the casting choices I know I would choose is I would keep Skylar as Elise.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But maybe tell her to tone down the cutesiness a bit.
Yeah, it seems like that was always her default voice in a lot of projects we did together. Was always like sound very cutesy. I'm sure she's better now than she was back then.
Yeah,
we've all come a long way, since we first started working together.
Yeah. Either that, or I would, if I had to recast, I would cast Jana as Elise, because she has her voice naturally sounds pretty close to Lacey Chabert.
Oh, okay.
Jana, you might know from the Danganronpa fan dub I was a part of, where she voiced Asahina.
I remember her, Janica Sizzle, was that?
Yeah, that was Janica Sizzle, yeah.
Yep, I remember, because I got in contact with her when I gave her that thing. Like, I gave her a, like when I was going to be part of the Danganronpa thing, I think I was going to be part
you
of it.
You were auditioning for it, because it was for a dub that never ended up happening.
Yeah, that's what happened, yeah. I got cast as a character, but it never got off the ground, so because I remember sending her my, the avatar that she wanted that everyone was using, so I was like, or at least the style of avatar everyone was using, so I sent that to her.
Yeah, that project never got off the ground because, like, pretty much everyone gradually, like, lost interest and drifted away as the Danganronpa 1 fan dub went on. So there just wasn't enough interest in all of us left to make more Danganronpa fan dubs.
I mean, that's fair.
And also the fact that the workload was disproportionately big for Jana and no one else.
Yeah.
And I feel like I failed on that front because I did audio editing for that. Like, I provided sound. I didn't add in the sound effects, but I got her, like, clean sound effect rips, clean music rips. I recorded all the gameplay footage to work with. And I did audio mixing for everyone's lines to, like, clean them up. But I started neglecting my actual voice acting duties.
Oh boy.
Because, you know, I feel like it just went on for so long that everyone eventually just got fatigued with it and moved on to things that interested them more. And it sucks that that's the way it played out, but I honestly can't blame them for that. Because that project was started in, like, I want to say like 2015, 2016, and it didn't end until like 2020, 2021.
Yeah. Because I remember 21 when you came here to visit, you were showing it to me.
Yeah. But I have massive, undying respect for Jana because of how she didn't give up on that like I totally would. Like, she had not done video editing prior to that. She taught herself how to edit and did a spectacular job at it, considering she was using an editing software that was pretty limited.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was an editing software that advertises itself as being, like, you know, professional grade but easy to use, but...
Yeah.
Not really. I've used it before. It's not very good.
Oh, jeez.
The software in question is called Filmora. Do not get Filmora, no matter what the sponsored YouTube segments tell you. Like, any YouTuber who says it's good for beginning YouTubers are YouTubers who either edit in Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, or Vegas, and would never think of editing an entire video in Filmora. Because Filmora is just so fucking clunky, and all the good features are locked behind subscriptions.
Yeah, I hate when these programs always have this whole like, oh, we can like use this, but you have to pay us in order to use it.
Like, they advertise that you have like a stock footage library that you can access for like B-roll. Like royalty-free stock footage. Except 99% of that stock footage is locked behind like really expensive subscriptions that are not considered part of your Filmora editing software subscription. So you basically have to pay 2 subscriptions to effectively use the software.
Perfect.
There's a new Lord of the Rings coming out in 2026?
I've never been interested in Lord of the Rings all that much, so I don't really care one way or the other. I'm not surprised that there's a new one coming out in 2026, given that Amazon has the rights to Lord of the Rings now.
Yeah.
Like, they have the rights to the Lord of the Rings IP, but they don't have the rights to the Peter Jackson movies. So they have to basically make everything scratch.
Yeah.
Same thing with current Lord of the Rings games. You know, that's part of why Gollum turned out so bad. Is because the IP rights for Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings and its related imagery is not included in those Lord of the Rings license sales.
Indeed.
Ow.
When you capture Mephiles, you must bring him to me.
To my knowledge, the reason that the Hobbit movies turned out so mediocre is because Peter Jackson wanted to do the Hobbit as one movie because that's all it really justifies. But the studio was like, no, it has to be a trilogy to make more money.
That makes total sense. I mean, I enjoyed the Hobbit movies, but
he also just didn't want to do the Hobbit.
I knew you'd return.
But they insisted on having him do it because it would be easier to advertise as from the director of The Lord of the Rings.
More interruptions.
Yeah.
The Impless Trigger must die.
Sonic.
I love how much of an idiot Silver is.
Elise! It's Shadow the Hedgehog.
One of the interesting things about this story to me is that Sonic does not interact with the game's main villain until the final story.
Yeah.
Where the main villain just shows up and stabs him in the back and then teleports away. Like, he never gets a proper one-on-one interaction with Mephiles.
No, he doesn't.
Like, part of the reason that I do like what this game's story was intended to be, but part of the reason its execution is a mess, is that it's ostensibly, it's titled Sonic the Hedgehog, but Sonic's story is the least important aspect of the overall plot.
Right. Like, honestly, I don't know how I would rewrite it. If I were to rewrite the story,
I would at least have I would play up Mephiles' resemblance to Shadow to have like some mistaken identity going on for Shadow this time instead of Sonic.
Yeah.
Like, as it stands, while Mephiles' design is inherently cool, basically just being like a recolor of Shadow's model until he gets to crystal form, they don't really do anything with the fact that he looks like Shadow.
Not really, no. Except the fact that Silver mistakes
mistakes Shadow for Mephiles once and then never again.
It's no use.
Yeah. The story, it seems like it had potential, but it was poorly written.
Yeah, it's a case where, like, I've said this on Twitter in an interaction with someone else who doesn't think that Sonic 06 is the worst story in the series. I say that I could see where this story could have been decent, if not one of the best, but it definitely needed more rewrites.
Definitely. What we're working off here seems to be more like maybe a third or fourth draft.
You can tell that this is definitely not a first draft because there's a line of audio in Shadow's story that we might have already seen, but I was talking over. I can't remember exactly where it happens. Where gun agent that Shadow and Rouge are in contact with at HQ refers to the Scepter of Darkness by its name in an earlier draft of the script, the Book of Darkness.
It's no use.
And it was obviously a take recorded from an earlier draft that was left in.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing to think about. That Mephiles is. I hesitate to call it iconic because it's iconic to me, but probably not to the average Sonic fan. The Scepter of Darkness was not always meant to be a scepter.
It's no use.
Honestly, I don't know. What made more sense, a scepter or a book?
The scepter fits better for, like, an artifact from a royal family lineage.
Yeah.
Whereas a book sounds more like something a wizard would keep.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm curious about is, like, and I know the story doesn't really explain too well, or at all, where the scepter originally came from before this,
Literally, its introduction as like where in the timeline it happened first is like the Duke basically just pulls it out of his ass and is like, use this to seal Mephiles. We're never explained where it came from, why he knows to seal him with it, how he knows it's gonna work, anything like that. He just has it on him.
Yeah, like I can understand. It's like maybe there was like a prophecy that someone told the Duke's ancestors or something like that. So it was like, you know, maybe he was trying to prevent the prophecy from being fulfilled, but instead he accidentally caused it to actually be fulfilled just by trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
Because if there's
there's a lot of the stuff that is like plot holes in this game story could be fixed by just expanding on the lore of Soliana more.
Yeah, like, you know, if there's one thing
do
I
some
learned
fucking
from,
world building in your new world.
Yeah, like if there's one thing I learned from Myth and Tragedy in my English 102 class last semester, you know, those who try to run from prophecy, 9 times out of 10 end up actually fulfilling the prophecy.
Yeah, and we do kind of see that play out very soon after this, where, like, in Mephiles' introduction in the story, or, like, the first time Shadow sees him, Mephiles says, you sealed me away 15 years ago, or 10 years ago, or however long it was.
Yeah.
Shadow goes back in time to the event. Like, right here, Shadow and Silver go back in time to the event where Mephiles was created. And seals him, creating a time loop of him going back in time, of him, like, sealing Mephiles 15 years ago, Mephiles being awoken 15 years later, telling Shadow that he was sealed 15 years ago. So Shadow knows to go back in time 15 years to seal him.
What are you talking about? To discover what happened, it seems we must see what took
10 years ago. There we go. I said 15 because it was the 15th anniversary game.
Yeah.
And yes, we talked over the kick, but we'll get to see the kick again in Silver's story. Also, random instance to use pre-rendered CG for this, but I guess I get why. Since
I mean, it's
it saves on having to render this entire environment that otherwise wouldn't have been seen in engine.
No, the level's not dropping. A spatial meltdown is inevitable. My lord, it's too late.
Also, the meltdown of the Solaris project probably wouldn't have looked as graphically impressive if it were in engine.
At least.
I wonder, it's a dumb joke, but maybe it's true. The reason why Solaris actually broke out of that containment unit was probably for the fact is that he probably misheard what the Duke said. He thought he said release, but he actually said release.
I mean, it's because they pissed off their god by trying to use their god as a fucking power source.
I know.
Now, why it's split into two, we don't know. Again, lack of world building, so we don't have anything to go off of. There we go. There's our Scepter of Darkness introduction.
Yeah.
He just pulls it out. He just pulls it directly from his rectum. Right. He was keeping it there for, he was keeping it there just in case.
Yeah.
The last place that anyone would ever try to steal it from him. He kept it in his space cavity, as Space Ghost would say.
I just remembered that I also voiced the Duke in that one.
Yes, you did voice the Duke because the Duke only appears in a handful of cutscenes, so that was one where I wasn't too concerned about having a unique voice cast for him.
Yeah. Like, if I were to redo the Duke's voice, I'd probably make him sound a lot older than the way I had him sound when I first voiced him. But again, you know, time was, you know, This was when I was still more inexperienced than I am. You know, I was more inexperienced back then. I'm still inexperienced, but I'm not as inexperienced as I was when I was younger.
I wouldn't say you're inexperienced. You've taken classes on this shit, which I haven't.
Ah, that's fair.
I've just used my experience from community theater as a jumping off point. But I do have more voice acting experience under my belt, having voiced in 2 released video games now.
Not much of that is that I would say that you actually have more experience in this kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I've been doing it longer than you, but I wouldn't say that you have no. I wouldn't say that you're inexperienced. You've taken formal education on this, which I haven't.
I mean, that is true. But when I say experience, I mean like actual professional experience. I'm still technically, I used to call myself a novice voice actor, but I actually think I'm more an amateur than I am.
One of the things that I've recently heard from like an amateur professional voice actor, like someone who did start out like we did, you know, voice acting on the internet, is to never publicly refer to yourself as an amateur or a novice, because that's not only, you know, bad for your self-esteem, but also lets, you know, potential hiring directors or companies think that they can get away with paying you a novice rate, no matter what your level of talent is. Like, you're not a professional. You're not, like, don't necessarily call yourself a professional if you're not doing it as a job. But just, you're not an amateur voice actor. You're not an aspiring voice actor. You're not a novice voice actor. You're a voice actor.
Yeah. Yeah, which means I don't have to have the text change on my business cards when I get the opportunity, because they actually say I'm an amateur voice actor. But that's really just for my link tree and everything like that. For the actual Fiverr work, my Fiverr page is not even linked on the link tree, and I don't think I will put it on the link tree.
I've been thinking about doing voice acting commissions on like Fiverr or something. I just need to figure out what my rate is going to be, because I constantly undersell myself.
Yeah.
Due to reasons I'm not going to get into, because this is a fun video game stream, not public therapy.
Right. Damn it, Shadow! You missed the boat.
No!
It's so awkward playing as Silver before you get his upgrades. Because you really only have 2 moves. The bitch slap and picking up and throwing stuff.
Yeah.
Silver, let's split up and chase our own targets.
Oh god, I remember this level.
Yep, you played in multiplayer with me.
Yep. And I hated work. Honestly, I love the fact you asked me to help you with the video. I was flattered that
yeah, and then I never ended up making the fucking video.
Well, you know, honestly, I don't blame you for not making it, and I don't blame you for, I don't blame you at all for anything on this one, dude. What I'm saying is that I hated the fact that I said yes to the fact that I didn't even know what the hell I was getting myself into. I should have done some research before I actually agreed. Like, you didn't even have to fully give me an explanation of what you wanted. I just said, oh yeah, sure, I'll help you.
Yeah, I would, even if I were to, like, I do plan on, you know, doing those videos. But if I were to to cover the multiplayer portions, I would just have to re-record all of them anyway.
Yeah.
Because I just don't have that footage anymore.
Right.
Fun fact, did you know that Sonic's famous super drowning skills is due to the people at Sonic Team misunderstanding hedgehogs? Like, they confused hedgehogs with lemmings. And thought that hedgehogs couldn't swim.
That itself is just funny. Changing my bio right now on Discord. I'm actually changing it so it's it doesn't say amateur voice actor anymore. It'll say voice actor extraordinaire. Just be funny.
Yeah. Oh boy, we can ride the bike here, even though there's literally no reason to, so I'm not going to. Like, the bike and the radical train level I can understand, because with your running speed having a defined cap on it in this game, there's no way you can catch up to the train without the bike. In this stage, it's like, why the hell would you use the bike instead of just running? Well, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have an iconic drowning theme. Yes, we wouldn't have a tune that traumatized entire generations of children. And you know what they say? A little childhood trauma builds character. You know what else they say, Shadow Dragon and JKR and whoever's listening? The more the merrier!
There's no strength in numbers.
Alright, I'm probably gonna call it a night after this stage.
Yeah.
I know
like,
this
what,
isn't
11?
as cartoonishly long of a stream as my recent ones have been, but
Not even a challenge.
But
like,
I'm starting to feel a little bit tired. Plus, I'm getting hungry because I have this delicious plate of frozen fettuccine Alfredo in front of me that I haven't gotten to eat.
What the fuck are you waiting for, dude? Eat it!
I don't like eating on stream. It's not an ASMR stream. I'm not giving you mouth sounds.
Hey, maybe you could be.
You have to pay extra for that.
Chaos control.
We'll at least sit through, you know, this bit of a cinematic masterpiece.
Like, I would honestly go for a more demonic voice for Mephiles.
Yeah, especially in this form and the crystal form.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Shadow, your face.
Like, at the very least, add an echo to this form. So it doesn't just sound like a dude.
Right.
Death, certain. You will die.
So, you're telling me at the center of darkness fell to the floor already in the past, but didn't shatter upon impact?
Well, Eggman dropped it from higher up. Or Rouge dropped it from higher up, rather.
Yeah.
It's like, I dropped a penny on you from like just holding my hand right above your head. And it didn't hurt you at all. Obviously, it should be safe if I dropped a penny on you from the top of the Empire State Building then.
The flames are properly sealed. It's done.
He just leaves the Scepter of Darkness with her and assumes that she's gonna know what to do with it.
You're going to leave it behind?
Yes. I already know what becomes of it in the future.
Oh, fuck. I just created a stable time loop, didn't I?
It's time to return.
Shit.
Yes, of course.
Like, honestly, when we get around to doing the fandom again, whenever that may be, for Mephiles, I would definitely, for like his for the whole like crystal form, I'd probably sound more like I did for Duskmon years ago.
Yeah.
And for like his his first form after he gains Shadow's shade as a body.
You're back sooner than I expected.
I would probably make it sound. I would probably do a better Makuta Pterodactyl voice, like from what Lee Tokar was able to do back in the day.
Where's the kid? What did you find 10 years ago?
Because like
I need you to access
I could do like a whole like
specifically
kind of
find out what materials the Scepter of Darkness was made from.
raspy,
but
raspy / whispery voice.
I found
and
the means to
feel like
see
that's what
Mephiles.
Mephiles should sound like when he first appears. But that's just my opinion, though.
I feel like that should be the sound that he has when he's in his like smoke form. Because
actually, you're right.
That's when he's just formed, and the way he speaks there implies that he's like very weak in that state.
Yeah, you're right.
Whereas I feel like he would sound a bit more normal in his like shadow doppelganger form.
Yeah, so like for the whole normal doppelganger form, he's like Mephiles the Dark.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, like he has more of a theatricality in his voice.
Yeah. All right, so that is going to do it for tonight, right as we load up to where they leave in the outtake. We'll see that next time.
Nice.
I gotta keep you guys tuning in for something. We are going to do a raid tonight, probably. I just need to see who it's going to be.
Is it going to be Cloud or is it going to be Proto?
You know, I don't get the chance to raid Proto all that much. So we're gonna raid Proto.
Okay.
Who is doing some art working on his pet carbuncle.
Nice.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to my wonderful co-hosts for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow night with more Final Fantasy VII Remake. And until then, unpleasant dreams.
We're the boys of chorus. We hope you like our show. We know you're rooting for us, but now we have to go. I wait for the thing to go through.
I really need to get like a recording of that to play when you're not here.
Yeah. Hey, I'll record it for you over the weekend, actually, because I'm doing some recording stuff for Cringivore, so I can fit